We're continuing on our journey on Highway 1 South, hitting the small towns, the towns not in the travel brochures, the historic towns. And let me tell you, we have stumbled across a beauty here in Aiken, South Carolina. Stay tuned and we'll learn a little bit more about it. Look forward to investigating. Aiken feels a little different than some of the other towns we've visited along US Highway 1. Sanford was more of brick factories and Southern Pines felt like golf and pine trees. Rockingham had race cars. But Aiken feels like somebody took a small town, mixed in horses, old money, wide streets, mossy trees, and just a touch of bless your heart, darling, and somehow it all works. I'm taken back by the oak trees that stretch over the road. And listen, there are horse crossings downtown. Not deer crossings, not duck crossings, but horse crossings. Aiken got its start back in the 1830s as a railroad town and a health retreat. Wealthy people came here to escape the heat, the humidity, and diseases like malaria and yellow fever. Later, by the late 1800s, Aiken became a winter playground for wealthy Northerners. Families with names like Vanderbilt and Whitney came here with their horses, their servants, trunks, and probably enough luggage to fill a train car. Another special part of Aiken is the sheer beauty of the neighborhoods. Streets like South Boundary are lined with huge old trees and historic homes. You could spend an afternoon just driving slowly, looking at porches, gardens, iron gates, and dreaming about what it would be like to live in one of these old houses. Then, of course, reality kicks in and you remember the electric bill on a house that size would probably fund a small country. If you're a photographer, this is your kind of place. Early morning light filtering through the trees, reflections in the water, moss hanging from the branches. And if you're lucky, you may even catch somebody riding horseback nearby, which somehow makes every photo look more expensive. Downtown Aiken has its own personality. There are brick storefronts, local shops, old buildings, and a nice mix of restaurants and cafes. One fun thing to notice is how wide some of the downtown streets are. Legend says they were designed wide enough so a horse and carriage could turn around easily. Whether that's completely true or not, it sure sounds like Aiken. And then there's the famous traffic circle downtown. If you're not from around here, it can feel a little like entering a NASCAR race for retirees. Everyone's polite, but nobody seems entirely sure of whose turn it is. Wealthy northern visitors, like the Roosevelts and the Vanderbilts, visited here and created what became known as the Winter Colony. They built huge homes that they politely called cottages. This is a cottage, not like the ones I'm used to, but nevertheless, a cottage to some people. Horses are the heartbeat of Aiken. This town is known as the horse capital of the South, and you can feel it everywhere you go. Polo fields, riding trails, training barns, horse statues, and riders trotting through town like they're heading to pick up milk and bread. One of the best places to experience in this town is Hopeland Gardens. This beautiful old estate used to belong to the Iceland family, part of Aiken's wealthy winter colony crowd. Today it's open to the public and it's one of the prettiest spots in town. There are walking trails, ponds, giant oaks, flowers, sculptures, and enough peaceful scenery to make you slow down whether you want to or not. One of the most famous old buildings in town is the Wilcox. This grand old hotel dates back to the winter colony days and has hosted presidents, celebrities, and wealthy travelers for more than a century. It's the kind of place where you half expect somebody in a bow tie to hand you a sweet tea on a silver tray. Aiken has one more surprise, Hitchcock Woods. This is one of the largest urban forests in the country, with miles of sandy trails used by horseback riders, hikers, and runners. It's quiet, beautiful, and feels like stepping into another world just a few minutes from downtown. One of the first things we noticed, and now that we're leaving this beautiful town of Aiken, the last thing we're seeing is churches, historic churches, scattered throughout the town. Some last thoughts as we leave this terrific town of Aiken. Seems that it's the type of place where people still wave from their front porches. Horse trailers are as common as pickup trucks. Gardens bloom, old hotels still stand, and a past never feels far away. I hope you've enjoyed this visit to Aiken, South Carolina. Our next stop is in Rennes, Georgia. Hop aboard and come along with us. And if you enjoy this kind of history and photography and small towns along US1, hit subscribe. Hit subscribe and I'll send you a notice when the next one comes out. So for now, over and out.